This is La Mesa, a town in the West Texas Panhandle where sometimes the sand blows. It's a small town. It's a town where many generations of your ancestors have lived and died. This is a look at a brother and sister who came from there. They're good old friends of mine. As a matter of fact, I'm their father. And to many of you watching this piece, I'm your granddad. We're proud we're from Texas. The old movie cameras of the 1920s weren't very good quality, and they had no sound, but they served their purpose for that time period. And they gave us a perspective of what was going on. You could tell what was going on, even though the quality wasn't that great. Just wanted to throw that in, since the material we're going to be watching on this video documentary also is using an old movie camera which has no sound. Today, Lisa and her husband Tom have been raising 9 children, homeschooling them all, and are now on their way to having a plethora of grandchildren. Meanwhile, Bob, Inky Bob that is, and his wife Laura have raised 4 children and are well on their way to having grandchildren as well. But the decade of the 60s found Inky Bob and Lisa being raised in this tiny house in their hometown of La Mesa, Texas. But the decade of the 70s saw them being raised in 2 more houses. La Mesa is a small cotton farming town in the West Texas Panhandle. It's located about halfway between cities of Lubbock and Midland.
Down in La Mesa, Texas, right on the courthouse square, all the guys and all of the chicks, well, they hang out down there. The gals would go one way around the square and the guys around the other. When we would meet, we would slow way down, check out one another.
Both their parents, Kay and Charles, are from Lamesa. That's Grandmama Kay and Granddad. And so was Grandmama Kay's and Granddad's parents, also from Lamesa, as well as most of their parents also. So that makes Lisa and Inky Bob fourth generation Lamesans. If you can see yourself in this picture, or if you're related in some way to Bob or Lisa, then you also have very strong ties to the West Texas Panhandle and Lamesa. But not so fast. Let's go back and look at some of the early pictures of Lisa and Inky Bob and some of their kin. Their mom and dad, Grandmama Kay and Granddad, met in high school and had about a 1-year romance while trying variations of the current styles of 1960. Then went on to get married in the First Baptist Church in Lamesa, Texas. Grandmama Kay's father was Joe Bailey Edwards. He was a cotton farmer. Here he is with Grandmama Kay's only sibling, Larry Don.
We're visiting with Bernice Edwards Popper, Mamo, Bibi, the grandmother, Bernice Applegate Edwards Popper. Well, listen, I want to know, just a little story about how you came to Lamesa. From where? Where's that at?
Granddad's father, Vandell, was a cotton farmer and a highly respected businessman and an amateur magician, as well as a play-it-by-ear musician. And he was a pilot, owning his own planes. And his mother, Clarabelle, was a real hoot and loved playing dominoes and cards. Here she's posing with the original Snapsy. Just a little tyke, Inky Bob poses here with Grandmama Kay and Granddad. Inky and Lisa's cousins, Pamela, Tim, Tom, and Pennyball, were also from Lamesa, so they got to hang out together quite a bit and are still good friends even to this day. You know, pretty commonplace to have pancakes with syrup, which has got lots of sugar in it, and enough of that can eventually just have a bad effect on one, and that's kind of what happened to Lisa and Bob after eating so much of that. Sometimes Grandmama Kay would take Inky and Lisa to a nearby park where they had a swing set and some seesaws. Lisa was pretty athletic as a little girl, probably preparing herself for the day that she would become head cheerleader at her high school. And you've probably heard the term like mother, like daughter, as Grandmama Kay was head cheerleader at the same high school during her days there.
Help me to see things that are better and both good and true.
During that same time frame, Bob could be found luring the three little sister neighbor girls to his house for a game of chase and catch and perhaps a sleepover in the backyard. Sometimes these parties would last until late into the night, right here in this backyard. Inky's always been up for a party, as do these pictures attest. Another favorite of these two was to take a trip to the local Skyview Drive-In Theater's playground amusement park, where they could ride the various rides, climb on the gymnastic equipment. All of this would take place in the late evening, just before the movie would come on, before it quite got dark enough for the movie. And Bob had a phobia of climbing up and sliding down the fireman's pole. Just couldn't quite bring himself to do it. Here's Granddad and his brother Keith holding Bob and Tom Ball, cousins only 6 weeks apart. And that's Grandmama Kay and Keith's wife Betty there. Cousins Inky Bob and Tom Ball have been pretty good buds for many years, and still to this day visit with one another quite often, along with their sons Carter and Travis, here visiting their Annie Lean Flanagan. And yep, occasionally they do get snow and ice in La Mesa. Lisa has always been very photogenic. Beautiful girl that she is. And here she is with her cousin, Linda Hoskins. This is Lisa on her first day of school. Very first day of school ever. In around 1990, while on maneuvers in San Antonio at the UT School of Nursing, she came upon a Green Bay Packer performing duties as a captain in the Air Force. She took Tom Bergmann into custody. Then, not long after that, just like a pair of water skis, they were skimming right along. And with the assistance of her mama, married up with him in 1991. From this union came Chase, Bailey, Christian, Bethany, Anna, I'm out of breath, and also Sarah, Joshua, Daniel, and Caroline. In this photo, we have cousins Pamela, Tim, Tom, and Penny Ball, along with Christy Bazell and her two brothers. Bob and cousin Danny Finnegan, then and now. Cousins Van and Linda Hoskins, Lisa's family at Creation Museum. Here, Bob and some of the neighborhood kids are taking advantage of the tilt-bed truck that Granddad has staged for them. This probably wasn't the safest thing in the world, but it sure was fun.
Well, hello, Josephine. How do you do? You don't remember me, baby, but I remember you. You used to laugh at me and holler, ooh, ooh, ooh. I used to walk you home across the railroad track. In the winter it would rain. I used to tote you up the back. Now you're trying to make believe it ain't been like that. Well, hello, Joey.
Lisa always enjoyed a good birthday party. Here she attends one of Brother Bob's birthday parties held out at the Lamesa Community Center. Not sure just which birthday this is for Pinky Bob, but I'm guessing it's his 6-year-old birthday party, which would have Lisa being about 3 or 4 years old. It looks like Bob's gonna get to open up a lot of presents as he prepares to blow out his candles. That's Grandmama Kay serving up cake and ice cream. A new pair of boots. Bob got married when he was about 23 years old, and not long after that, here come his first 2 kids, Lauren Elise and Taylor. Taylor? Oh my word. And after a few short years, Bob and Elise and Taylor's mom decided they didn't like the same food. They dissolved their marriage. Then after a couple of years, Bob became kind of awestruck over this pink head there in the middle, but ended up marrying a princess instead. Then, after some advice and counseling by Lisa and Tom, Inky and the princess decided they did like the same food, so they gave us Abigail and Carter to go along with Taylor and Elise. I guess even back then, Abigail and Carter had figured that someday they'd be going to Texas Tech.
1, 2, 3. Slow down, you move too fast. You got to make the morning last. Just kicking down the cobblestones, looking for fun and feeling groovy.
How do you get this thing started, Daddy?
Feeling groovy. Hello lamppost, what you knowin'? I come to watch your flowers growin'. Ain't you got no rhymes for me? Do it and do feeling groovy. Feeling groovy. I got no deeds to do, no promises to keep. I'm dappled and drowsy and ready to sleep. Let the morning time drop all its petals on me. Life, I love you, all is groovy.
Bob is still giving me that movie time action.
Slow down, you move too fast. You got to make the morning last. Just kicking down the cobblestones, looking for fun and feeling groovy. Feeling groovy. Hello lamppost, what you knowin'? I come to watch your flowers growin'. Ain't you got no rhymes for me? Do it and do feeling groovy. Feeling groovy. I got no deeds to do, no promises.
All this excitement happening right here in this backyard.
The morning time drop all its petals on me. Life, I love you, all is groovy.
Hey, Inky, where are you going? Dutch is chewing up the stroller. This 2019 photo shows Inky Bob there on the right, hooking up with some of his old high school buddies at Lou's Barbecue.
Hi-ho, it's home from work we
on a short visit out to Uncle Larry Don Edwards' home. Larry Don was Grandmama Kay's only sibling. And there's his wife, Connie. This gas stove really came in handy during the winter months. That Lisa, she's the climbingest thing I ever saw. Grandmama Kay's mother, Bernice, also known as Mamo, had been over for a visit, and as she was leaving, she was getting hugs and kisses from Lisa and Bob. And waking up from a nap is never any fun, especially if you've got the bright lights of a camera shining in your face. And then there's dozing off in one of the kids' beds. Finally, down for the evening with a bedtime story. What? She's awake again? Granddad and his brother, Uncle Keith, and their father, C.V. Ball, had a farm equipment dealership in Lamesa named C.V. Ball Oliver Company. They sold Oliver brand farm equipment and serviced it. In the 40s and 50s, they operated out of a little Quonset hut building until a new, more modern structure was built in about 1964. But all of the film footage we have is from those Quonset hut days. Most of the film footage in this piece was taken by Granddad, although some of it was taken by Grandmama Kay. And these images, in which you probably find no interest in, included in this piece to show some of the ancestral history of Bob and Lisa, and therefore you. These images are a part of your heritage. Hello, Quentin Collins, Joe Mechanic U. C.V. Ball Oliver Company was a successful and highly reputable business in the 1940s, 1950s, 1960s, and 1970s in Lamesa. And it was all on the back of that farmer, that businessman, that magician, and that musician, C.V. Ball, Granddad's father, and Granddad's brother Keith, who shortly after this video was made went on to fight in 2 combat missions in the Vietnam War. And he won the Silver Star Medal while doing so. He was a helicopter pilot. Granddad and his dad did a lot of contract farming for others. They were often found out in the fields, surveying the situation, or driving some of the equipment. Everything look all right down there? Granddad spent a lot of time driving one of these big boys. And one day, while fueling up, he invented the first selfie while setting this movie camera on top of his pickup. This was Christmas with the Edwards and Applegates. That's Grandmama Kay's side of the family. Connie, Mamo, Joe Bailey, Ed, Grandmama Kay's grandmother, Mrs. Applegate. There's Larry Don. Mrs. Applegate's name is Era May. That's Grandmama Kay in the red dress. Uncle Larry Don and Granddad. Grandmama Kay's daddy, Joe Bailey. Then there was Christmas at Granddad's mother and father's house. The Vernon Flanagan family was there. The Keith Ball family was there. Of course, Papa and Mama.
Glisten and children.
One Christmas, Lisa got a skate. She was so happy.
Sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write.
Even Mama Campbell was there. That's Mama's mother.
Be merry and
But never give up. And with enough practice, Mama and Annie Lee, Mama Kay and Aunt Betty, Papa, Uncle Keith, Uncle Vernon, Mama Campbell,
Mrs. Beware.
Sharon Flanagan, and that turkey's been picked clean. And the Hoskin family stopped by. That's Granddad's oldest sister.
Where the treetops glisten and children listen.
Now, Mama had an exercise bike, and everybody wanted to give it a try. But it seems nobody could ride that thing as well as Mama herself. So after everybody had had their try at it, she said, "Here, I'll show you how it's done."
May your days be merry and bright,
And may all your Christmases be
And this is Christmas at Lisa's and Inky Bob's house.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Just up, out of bed.
Making a list.
Looks like Santa's been here.
Gotta find out who's naughty or nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. So be good for goodness sake. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. Better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping. He
I just got back from a lovely trip along the Milky Way. I stopped off at the North Pole to spend a holiday. I called on dear old Santa Claus to see what I could see. He took me in his workshop and told his plans to me. So you better watch out, better not cry, better not pout, I'm telling you why.
Looks like new wheels
Santa
for everybody.
Claus is coming to town.
Well, we know neither one of them can
He's
skate.
making a list,
Wonder if either one
checking
can
it twice.
ride anything.
Gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping, knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. Oh, you better watch out, better not cry, better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
With little tin horns, a little toy comes, Rudy Hoot toots and Rummy Tum Tums. Santa Claus is coming to town. And curly-haired dolls that cuddle and coo, elephants, boats, and kitty cars too. Santa Claus, Santa Claus, Santa Claus is coming to town.
The kids in girl and boyland will have a jubilee. They're gonna build a toyland town all around the Christmas.
And also a Christmas stopover at Great Grand's. That's Papaw's mom. It's Granddad's grandmother. Her name's Ethel. Ethel was born in 1891. One of your many La Mesa ancestors. Next Christmas stopover at the Larry Don Edwards house. Larry Don was Grandmama Kay's older brother. Inky Bob wanted to show off his new frog he got to the camera, but Grandmama Kay wouldn't stay moved out of the way. Now on to the Applegates, and all the men folk take their places to be able to watch a little football. The Applegates would be Grandmama Kay's grandmother. Now, Lisa, just know, if you plan on having a large family, it's going to take a real balancing act. Mischief. Included in these next two pictures is Elise's husband Eric and their two kids Kenna and Cash.
Get together with the Lord. Well, they will treat each other like sister and brother when they all get together with the Lord. Now when they all
Newbies in this picture are Bailey's husband Eric and their son Emmerich.
with the Lord. Well,
Well, here goes. Here's the big question, the big test. Well, as we all know, all of life is a learning experience.
That leads us to knows where, who knows where. But I'm strong enough to carry it. Oh yeah. He hit it. He's my brother. So on we go. It's the welfare is my concern. No burden is leaves to bear. We get there. For I know
Give us a little wave.
night and come. He ain't heavy. He's my brother. He's my leader, and all that.
Now, Bob finally learned to ride that bicycle with some encouragement from that tricycle riding sister of his, but it took a little hollering and screaming to get it done. Bob and Lisa were about 10 and 8 years old. Grandmama Kay and Granddad realized they didn't like the same food either, so they dissolved their marriage and went on their own way. Grandmama Kay ended up with a well-heeled, successful cotton farmer in Jena, Charlie King. Nice man. Most of you have met him. He was called Grandpapa Charlie.
Happy birthday, Bernice. That's all you can say is happy birthday.
So after a time, Grandmama Kay and Charlie decided that they'd like to have another son in the family. So along came Kale.
Love you.
After several years of Granddad being single, Granddad decided it was about time to take on a wife, so he went out to the Denver airport and picked up a budget rent-a-car girl. Most of you know her today as Grammy. So they went out and got a little girl, Nicolette, and a little boy, Christopher, to be the younger brother and sister. Then they got married and they all became good friends. Bob's gotten older, he's slowed, you see. But there used to be a time when he was a real hobnobber. Well, I remember a time that he had a telephone conversation with Texas Governor Mark White.
Good to talk to you two. Governor, I was calling this evening. We seem to have a problem here in Cedar Park. Oh, thank you. Yes, that was a considerable contribution, wasn't it? There seems to be this sulfur smell, if you will, as it were. Consequently, yep. And it's amazing. My grandmother, you think she smells bad? This is horrible. It's obviously odorous, if you will. I simply wanted to call this to your attention. Yes, we do have some guests. Yes, they are friendly guests. Oh, you already worked of course you. But back to the matter. The matter, as it were, was this odorous smell, sulfur. I think that's a good term for it. Oh, it is. Okay. How long do you think you'll be working on this sewer system? Oh, it's your new project. I know. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. We were. Okay. Yeah, Mark. Okay. Listen, Mark. Okay. Hi, Mrs. White. How you doing? Pleased to talk to you. It's Bob here. Yes, we really enjoyed it. It was fun. Okay. Good. Put Mark on, please. Mark, thank you. Listen, that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to call that to your attention. Yes. And you too. Okay. Yep. Yes. Oh, she's fine. Yeah, she's fine. Yeah, 4 weeks old. Oh, no, it doesn't stink yet. Oh, once or twice. Yeah, we did. She doesn't like it very much. I think she doesn't like the water, you know. Oh, do you? Yeah. Same deal. Well, listen, Mark, Mrs. White, it was.
As it were.
Oh, yeah, he is. Hang on just a second. Jim, just 1 second. Okay. It's Mark.
What do they name you for anything?
It's Governor White.
Mark? How you been? Is that right?
Is this all the actual
Jim,
guy?
Jim.
No. Bobby.
Jim.
Bobby's had a little too much.
Long distance.
Do I need to cut this short?
Yeah.
Okay, listen, you want to talk to everybody in the room? Charles? Yeah, he's a little bit tied up right now. Are you free, Charles, or do you want to? Okay, listen, hey, Lisa's got a couple of things to say to you. I think she can pull stuff away.
No.
Lisa? I'm sorry, Mark. We need to take that back.
Mark, it's her ears that are ringing. Yes, we've had a lot of fun.
I don't know what he's talking about. Mark, listen, I'm going to take you back to Bob because I think he's the man who can put out for this kind of conversation. We call it one-on-one.
Okay, Governor. All right, Governor White. Enjoyed talking to you too. Yes, we will be there the 17th of March in Dallas. Well, we might bring her to look. Can Lauren come? Yeah. Well, it is so funny that you mentioned. Lauren. No.
I think you're drilling in there.
Here we go. Okay. Yeah, we will. Okay, y'all too. You too. Okay. Well,
Sometimes you just have to hang up on it.
Mark. I've got you. Yeah. Okay, good. Talk.
Ask him if he could come over.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Good talk to you, Martin. You too. Good. All right. Okay. All right. So long. Good. Right. Bye now.
Hell of a guy.
He's a hoot. You know, he's cut up. He is.
Jim Caskey later became an orthodontist. Give me some action, Bob. We're trying to take some moving movie pictures here. Give me something. And that was my brother Bob. Now Lisa was asked to provide some motion for the camera.
treat me wrong, come and love you, daddy, all night long. All right now. Hey, hey, all right. You see the girl with the diamond ring? She knows how to shake that thing. All right now, now, now. Hey, 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 hey. Tell your mama, tell your pa, I'm gonna send you back to Arkansas. Oh, yes, ma'am. You don't do right. Don't do right. When you see me in misery, come on, baby, see about
Hey, I see those eyes moving.
all right. All right. Oh, play it, boy.
Six Flags opened in 1961, and in about 1965, Inky Bob and Lisa and their family was there. And as you can see, not near as much hustle and bustle at Six Flags over Texas then as there is today. That's Grandmama Kay in pink pushing the carriage. It was a lot of fun, but as you can see, All that activity wore Lisa out completely. Although this picture was taken in Bob's Grapevine, Texas front yard, Tom and Lisa are at home in Shawano, Wisconsin. Next stop, Bob's first grade Valentine party with Sister Lisa as guest. Notice the prim and proper attire of the students, the teacher, and the parents of the mid-1960s. Here, Bobby. Each youngster was coming to the front of the class and either reading something or saying something. Inky Bob is asking this little girl if she'll save her love for him and marry him someday. Or something like that. Probably. The teacher's name is Mrs. Lauderdale. She's handing out goodies to each student and each guest. Lisa and Bob are getting picked up, then dropped off at a daycare. Since Granddad and Grandmama Kay work, and then getting picked up again from the daycare and taken back to their home.
A beautiful day for a neighbor, would you be mine? could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine?
And it's birthday time for Bob, and he's having a party in one of the local parks. And back in the mid-60s, it was thought that a birthday boy needed a birthday spanking. Boy, did his friends give him one. You might say this was a birthday beating rather than a birthday spanking. Grandmama Kay and Lisa say, well, it's his birthday. It can be said that most of our lives we're on a search for what may be just around the corner. But one thing can be said, after all the years and after all the different roads that have been traveled, Lamesa and Texas is still remembered fondly as where it all started, where it came from, the Cocoon, as it were. Now, as the narrator and granddad of this piece, I sure am glad to have experienced life together with y'all. Now on to the next. I'll meet y'all in the North End Zone.